welcome back. Well, I know that I said in the last session that we'd start this session off by looking at some UV maps, or at least applying UV maps to our model Messerschmitt 109E. However, I did forget that I said I would sort of do an introduction as far as the slate editor was concerned. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's pop up to our material editor and left click on the mouse key. Now here we can see we've got the slate editor. Very different from the compact editor, which I must admit I'm more than used to. Well, basically this editor is what's known as node based. Here you can see that on the left hand side we have our material map browser. If we open this up, we've got the 3ds max.materials, or map for materials, and in there, well, they look familiar. We have our brick, our foliage, etc. Now we've got view 1. This is basically our work area, and here is the navigator, which helps us navigate around this work area. We're not restricted to just the one work area. Let's say that I wanted to have a work area for the wing and another work area for the fuselage, then no problem. What I can do is right click here, we'll say rename the view, and I'll call this wing. Right, I want to create another view, so create new view, and we'll call this fuselage. Say OK. So now that we've got our work area, how do we actually get things into this work area? Well, as I said, it is node based. So let's just pop down. I want to have a look at the standard materials that are available. In fact, I'm going to select standard, grab a hold of it, pull it out, and there we go. Now we have our standard node. And up here in our navigator we have a red box around a blue box. If I left click on that, keep it depressed, then as you can see we're navigating around our working area. Let's just open that up a little bit as well. Okay. So now that we've got our standard node, what can we do with it? Well, if we have a look at it, certain things do look familiar. We've got ambient color, diffuse color, specular color, glossiness, etc. Bump. So some things do look quite familiar. Let's pop on diffuse color. I'm going to left click twice. Down here we can see that this looks familiar also. This is what we have in our compact material editor. Diffuse. Right, fair enough. I'm going to go there and select that, left click on it, and what it's done is brought me into this. Now I'm looking at standard again, and what I want is a bitmap. So if I double click with the left mouse key on bitmap, it's opening up and it's taken me to my folder, the directory with the folder in which I've got my images here. So if I pick night sky, okay, let's grab a hold of that and pull it, and well, what's happening here? It's, you know, like rubber ropes. I want to be able to see that. Okay, well, let's just put it back for a moment. What I'm going to do is click on this, move children. So now if I select that and let's move it across, we're moving the children along with it. And as we can see here, we've got our bitmap, which is our image of the night sky, and it's linked via our nodes into the diffuse color. Now I'm not going to lie to you, as far as the slate material editor is concerned, I have a love love-hate relationship for it. It's damn good in many respects if you're working on some quite complex materials, but then again it's very rare that I do create extremely complex materials, so it's work in progress as far as I'm concerned with the Slate Material Editor. Let me just give you an example. Okay, what I want to do is, well, can we see the material swatches down here? If I double click that, so we can see what it's like in our swatch there. Okay, I'm gonna minimize this, and actually I'm gonna delete it. So delete the selected. Select all of those and delete those. Now in the last session we created a multi-sub object section and imported 6 separate images. Well, if I was using that in here, this is what it would be like. Okay, there it is, multi-sub object. Okay, bring it in, and this is what I'm presented with. Okay, I can press Alt, Control and middle mouse key to pull out, and what I've got is, well, 10 sections. Let's zoom in again, because what I want to do is double click on here. Now in the other material editor, this is where I was presented with. We could set up our materials or images. Remember, I only needed 6, so I'm going to set the number. Set number, I'm going to call it 6. Press OK, and that reduces this down. Does it make it any easier? Well, no, because if I'm using this, then what I have to do is go up to the first one. I'm looking at getting a material, so if I click here and then taken up to this section, this looks familiar as well, and I'm gonna left click that there. I need a bitmap, and I'm going to bring in the high rise. Okay, so that's brought it in. I'm going, yeah, right. So let me have a look at this, and I can see the bitmap there, and I don't know. You tell me. I mean, I just find it, well, a bit like working with spaghetti. And I have worked with this before, and I know that in certain parts it's damn good, it's helpful, but overall I'm not enamored with it. To me it's a lot easier using the compact material editor, but there again I'm used to it. So this is the Slate Material Editor. I think for myself it's something I'm going to have to work with a lot more, and then I might actually do a series of tutorials on the best way to use it. I don't know, maybe I'm being disingenuous towards it, but all I'll say is I don't think we're going to be using the Slate Material Editor in any more of the tutorials that we'll be doing. Okay. Well, let's say sayonara. Well, I know we're only 10 minutes into the session, but I think we'll call that it. I'll catch you later.